Hello students, welcome to today's session. I am Dr. Priyank Gupta from MIT College of Management, Muradabad. Our today's topic of discussion is consumer behavior. So let's start with the discussion first by putting some definitions in front of you. As you can see here, we have a basic definition which I have searched from Wikipedia. It simply discusses about the actions and mannerism, fine? The actions and mannerisms of individuals, of organisms, of system and some artificial entities. It's all about action, how a particular individual is performing certain task, how is this person actually doing something, why is this person doing it, that all things come into behavior. Now when we talk about marketing aspect, we have to talk about consumer, the behavior of the consumer. So that also is mentioned here, if you can look at Dr. Schiffman and Kanun has given wonderful simplified definition here, talking about it is a behavior that consumer displays searching, purchasing, using, evaluating and disposing of a product and a service. Now definitely these are very important things. Searching, let's say I want a mobile phone, where will I search the particular product? Now I have found out a mobile phone on say internet, on one of the social media platforms, or it would be not fine to have a social media platform, rather we would go on say Amazon or say Tata Click or let's say Flipkart or say Alibaba. There are so many global sites where we can go and find a mobile phone. Not only online, if you have the provision of going offline, you can actually go to a shop and search for the particular mobile phones, no problem, fine. Once you have actually searched for the particular product, now the crime comes for purchase, the second thing mentioned here. Fine. How would you purchase it? The consumer has to make purchase decision. Should I buy online? Should I buy offline? Should I buy on COD? Should I buy on EMI? Should I buy on the entire payment? So that is a big decision. It differs from every customer to customer. Fine. Then comes the point of using. How the particular person will be using a product. Now, okay, someone is buying a product for himself, for the self consumption. Let's say a father buys a particular gift and gives it to the child, then the usage is different. Someone is buying, someone is using. So the user part is consumer behavior part and the buying part is the customer part, whether it is buying the product and then using or not is a different case altogether. Fine. Then we talk about evaluation and using. Once you start using a particular product, you find that okay, this product is very useful, it is fulfilling my needs. I require the particular product for particular thing. We are talking about mobile phones. I need a mobile phone to make a call. I need a mobile phone to make messages. I need a mobile phone to search my internet. So that all is giving to me by the particular mobile phone. It's good, fine. Now, if I see that entire these steps are completed, now the time has come to dispose of a particular product. Now, how would I dispose of a particular product? Looking into environmental factors, it is important to make sure that particular product is disposed in eco-friendly manner. So that also comes into your behavior, into the consumer's behavior. How am I disposing the particular product? Definitely it will be disposed of only when that particular product has satisfied your need and it is no longer required, right? So these all things are to be understood. Now why are we understanding these particular things? Why are we focusing on consumer and its behavior? Because I am a marketer now. Now if I am a marketer, I need to know your behavior. When I need to know your behavior, that means if I know how you will search, how you will purchase, how you will use, how you will evaluate, how you will dispose, then I can actually create a strategy around all these things. And I can actually look into things that my product reaches yourself into very, very timely thing, into very, very effective manner. Fine. Let's move further and talk about some new aspects which is referenced here as neuroscience. The neuroscience is a very interesting subject to understand when you refer to psychology. I have a reference here with two wonderful personalities, Professor Hilka Paltzman and Dr. Terry Wu. Both are wonderful researchers, both have given several TED Talks. They have been researching on the consumer platforms, their behaviors, their consumer interactions and similar kind of products. So when they talk about these things, I have found out some common points in these two persons' research works. The first refers to the human tends to set a goal for themselves, but choose to ignore it in certain points. Now when we talk about setting a goals, well, definitely you would agree with me At certain point of time you must have set a goal for you, or you have made a new year resolution that I will be staying fit this year, I will be eating healthy, I will be doing exercise. So let's say 7 to 8 months of the year, out of 12 months in the year, I will be doing exercise. Fine, very good goal, very understandable goal, very approachable goal. Fine, no problem. You have started using that particular goal, you are applying the goal, you are trying to exercise. Initially you are not able to do, then you try into the habit. Now after 2 months of time you are very good into exercise, your routine has stretched to 1 hour or 2 hours in a particular day. Fine, wonderful, it is going good. Then comes the ignoring part. What is the ignoring part? Let's say you go to a particular function, it was a family function, a marriage or something, you went there, you find some very lucrative exotic food items there, you couldn't avoid noticing it. Once you noticed it, you wished I could have it or not. Now you have a goal to stay fit, now you have seen an exotic dish, you want to have it, and at this point you are actually trying to ignore your goal and you are going toward this counter where that particular exotic dish is served and you eat it. You ignore that goal. Fine, that's neuroscience, no problem. The next day you will be back to your goal, back to exercising, back to eating healthy. That one time when you have actually taken that oily or very spicy or that very tasty food which doesn't come under the healthy food, you have consumed it, no problem. Fine, that is neuroscience. That is the neurons in our head that are actually compelling us to ignore our goals. The second point here written here, if you can look at this, we have three basic words: emotions, memory and thinking process. It's simple. Mr. Terry had a wonderful discussion in one of the tech talks, and he said about that whenever you consume a particular product, at that time what is your emotional state, what is your memory? Do you remember that you have consumed a similar kind of a product, or do you have a happy or a sad emotion at a particular time, or what were you thinking at that time when you are consuming that particular product? It plays a huge role while you consume the same product at the same time, or let's say at the later time. Fine. So it is a very unconscious kind of stuff. You don't actually think that this is happening with me when I am consuming a product. Like say if I have a mobile phone at my hand and immediately there is a crash on the mobile phone, the signal goes off, the screen doesn't show off, I will be very upset. I will be throwing the mobile phone away. That at that particular time emotional state is different. The memory will stay with me with that particular phone, that this phone crashed, I am never going to buy the particular brand again. Fine. And then thinking process, why I needed the particular phone, I didn't remember then. If I did not need a particular phone, I do not remember, then why am I upset? These are certain things which are unconsciously going in our mind. Fine. So these are supposed to be understood or say studied by the marketers to make sure that none of the bad things happen when we are using a particular a particular product. Right. The third thing is equally important, which is social influence. Who is not influenced by society? We have to live in the society. We want to be the part of the herd. We don't want to be left behind from the other people. We don't want to be on the stage where we are called right up, you are very old, you are very old fashioned, you are way behind the technology, you are way behind the style, you are way behind the fashion. So we do have influence of society on us. And when we have influence of society on us, we tend to follow certain things which are not natural. Like let's talk about mobile phone. The Apple has a benchmark in the particular market. Now, not everyone can afford it, but they wish to have it. If someday they have that much amount of money to buy it, they will buy it. Although that could, the entire work that the Apple mobile phone does can be done with a simple 10,000 rupees mobile phone also. But it is this status symbol, it is this social influence that we are pursued into. Fine. So that is what the new and the latest trend in neuroscience is going on. Moving further, it is equally important to understand the difference between the two words which we use interchangeably, the customer and the consumer. Yes, you must be wondering, this is a very confusing part. We are talking about customer, or we are talking about consumer? Well, the topic here is consumer behavior, in which customer is equally important. Now, this slide will tell you why. If you notice, the first point talks about the meaning. The meaning, let's talk about the customer. The buyer of a good and a service is known as a customer. He's actually buying the product. And then who is the consumer? Consumer is actually the user of a particular good. Simple example, I buy a simple say laptop, Nowadays, most of the parents are actually giving gadgets to students, kids, or say students who are actually using it for online classes. So, let us say I buy a particular laptop or tablet and give it to my child. So, my child is a consumer, I am a customer, I have bought that, I am the buyer and user is someone else. So, I am the customer, that particular person is the consumer. Second point of difference is the purpose. The purpose is, let us say if I am buying and I may be buying it for my own consumption, or I may be buying it for resale purpose. Resale means I bought it for X value, I added my margin, I am selling it to X plus N margin and I am selling it to third person, fine, I am a customer. If I am a consumer, then it is only meant for my own consumption and it is not meant for resale. Clear definition. Consumer will never resell the product it is consuming. Customer can. Fine. This is a minute difference we need to understand here. The third part says the purchase. When customer is talked about, yes, he is paying the price, he is paying the actual price and he may or may not be using it. When we talk about consumer, it is not necessary that he may be paying the price for the particular customer product. Right? So, if he is not paying the price, he may be using it. Definitely he is using it, he is a consumer, he is consuming the product, whatever product we are referring to here. Fine, but not necessary that he will be purchasing the particular product. Not referring to a type. The type is, when we talk about a customer, he could be an individual, he could be an organization. Fine, like individual, like I buy the particular product, I am an individual, fine. Let us say a company buys a set of laptops for the employees. Company, an organization, a big institution. When we talk about consumer, what it says? It says they are individuals, fine, I am consuming, I am a consumer. I could be a group of people also. Therefore, to the same example, companies buying laptop for the employees. Employees are a group of people. So, that is what consumer. They have not bought the product, they have been given the product by the company. So, they are consumer. So, yes, it is hard to understand the difference right away, what is customer, what is consumer, but as you will discuss this thing in detail, as we will be discussing about their behavior, you will find the difference. Right? Moving further, I have certain examples to share. If you can see on the screen, you have an example of cars here. Now, as you can see the example of cars, I have shown two wonderful models. Definitely you can identify by the picture there. Now, when you went to buy or you will buy or you have been into market to buy a particular car, what was your behavior while you were buying the particular product? Fine. I have a smaller car, I have a slightly bigger car. Smaller car, less budget, bigger car, a slightly big budget. Fine. This is definitely a way cheaper car than what the model here is depicting. Fine. The difference would be somewhere around more than 3 lakh rupees approximately. Right. So, when we go into the showroom and when we ask a person, this is what my need is, please show me a car, he will take you the best car. Fine. He is taking you the best car. So, this is the best car I have, buy this one. Then you manipulate, no, okay, this is a very good car, but I do not want that, but I want a little smaller car or a little small family car. Okay, sir, I have this section for you. No, this is not in my budget. I want a little more cheaper car, cheaper budget section car. Okay, sir, that is also here for us. So, what are you doing? You are showing your behavior. You went to the shop, you actually asked, you show me the product. Fine. Every customer or consumer does this thing. They go to a shop and say, show me XYZ product. Then the salesperson, the marketer person actually tries to inquire about what are the specific needs there. Fine. And then it channelizes, and then the actual point comes into that this is the exact budget and this is the exact model I want. Same is the case with the smartphones or the smart devices. Here I have shown the smart watch and a winding watch, a grandfather's winding watch. If you remember, you have to wind the keys to keep it going. And when you talk about the smartwatch has to be charged every day. Now, both have their own functionalities. Definitely the consumer for these two products are different. The consumer for the smartwatches are the newer breed, the newer generation, the smartphone generation as we refer to. And when we talk about the winding ones, the elegant one, definitely the elder section of the society who knows about the fashion, who knows about the importance of time, and definitely the watches are actually made to make you feel the importance of time. It is a timepiece as we refer to, right. I have also made reference to two of the services here. Now, definitely you can see I have mentioned the references of two wonderful OTT platforms, or what we call as online streaming platforms. We have Hotstar now, which is Disney plus Hotstar. We have Amazon Prime, we have Netflix, right. Now, the Amazon Prime has a wonderful thing that they were not an Indian brand, The Hotstar was actually the Indian, it is known to be Indian before it was been acquired by the Disney and the entire conglomerate. Before that, Hotstar was the only streaming platform in India. It was streaming matches, it was streaming all the Star Plus and Star Media's telecast with a little delay, so that the actual people can see it on the TV, and if you want to see it at a later time, they can do it at a later time. The big point here was the privacy. Let's say there's a simple joint family people. Let's say I'm here, my wife is there, my grandparents are there, my uncles are there, my brothers are there, and there's only one TV. Definitely you could make out, in a normal household, a TV would show a Saas Bahu movie or Saas Bahu serial. No denying that. I am a sports enthusiast. I want to see sports. I want to see wrestling. I want to see sports. I want to see that match. I want to see IPL and all that stuff. How will I watch? I cannot win the battle from my mother or my sister or my wife. So what Hotstar gave a unique entity to me. It gave me an application which I could use on my mobile phone, and that was a beautiful thing that came up. Almost 50% of the generation of the entire population actually started using it. Fine. Same, the success of this particular Hotstar was replicated by Amazon Prime Videos and Netflix. Netflix being the extremely later part of the entire ecosystem of the OTT, but it came in very handy. It came in with world class products or service, or what we call as the series. And one thing they identified, that Hotstar is coming up with something which is known as the regional channel languages, which Amazon Prime and Netflix was missing. The regional, if the main region I would say, is Hindi in India. So the Hotstar had huge amount of Hindi channels being telecasted. Amazon and Netflix thought into it, and they also came into the play. Okay, we are also giving you some Hindi content, and yes, the market started booming up. Currently, all are parallel. I mean, it's all about depending on the likes of the person, how much they like the particular service. Like I have the subscription of all three. I'll be watching different series at different time on all these three platforms. So again, you can see the behavior of the customer. The privacy here is important. Now you want to watch a particular series, you cannot watch it at home, you cannot watch it with your family, or it's something which would not be of interest to some other person. You want to watch it alone, go on the privacy, open your handsets, open your laptops, open your desktop, and start using the particular service. I also have a reference of this wonderful emoji, if you can see. This is the care emoji, which is recently been added into Facebook. Now you can see it's like, love, care, laugh, and you have LOL, and you have cry, and you have sad emojis here. So there was something missing which is known as care. There have been lots of mishaps around the world, lots of disasters going around the world, and people on the other part of the world were actually feeling that care for the other person, but they had no emoji for that. So Facebook decided to come up with this particular emoji. So this emoji gave Facebook a wonderful opportunity to increase the commenting power of a particular user, and it happened. According to a statistical website, you go there, from the time they have inducted this particular care emoji, some 15 to 20% comments have increased, or the emoji reaction has increased on the particular platform. Big boost for them. I guess the other platform can also use the same strategy. Now moving further, coming to the specific part, the factors which are affecting the particular consumer behavior. 3 in specific. Fine. As you can see, I have demographic factors, I have behavioral factors, I have marketing environment. Fine. Let's discuss them in detail. Now, as you can see, the demographic factors are very simple demographics of an individual person. What he is, how he is. Fine. Starting with the age. The older the person, more experienced he is, he will have more knowledge. So he could be having a specific behavior about everything. The family. An individual or a bachelor person will show a different behavior, a married person will show a different behavior, a married person with kids will show a different behavior, a singular person living in a joint family will show a different behavior. People from various different kind of families, like we have nuclear family, we have joint family, they show a different kind of behavior. Fine. The third is gender. Well, no doubt both the genders have their peculiar choices and their behavior is different. I mean, jokes apart, but definitely the girls or the boys, the males and the females, the men and the women have the peculiar choices in a particular buying behavior. So that needs to be understood when we refer to behavior. Going to income, now the income would depend upon, again, if you can also increase, just hold on a second. Income is also depend upon occupation. The occupation of a particular person would be governing what is the income he is gaining. Now, if he is gaining the income, so occupation will give him income. Income is directly replicated by the, we can edit this, the income is actually directly proportionate to the occupation. Occupation and income go hand in hand. If person is employed, he may be into a bracket of say small salary or say a starter salary, a fresher. He could be a say middle average salary earner, he could be a big salary earner, or he could be an entrepreneur himself. He could be earning a lot of money, fine. So, all these brackets shows different kind of behavior by the particular consumer. Now comes the education. More the educated person, more knowledge he has, more different kind of behavior he tend to show. Like if I am educated about smartphones, so definitely if you show me a bar phone, I would be least interested. Oh, okay, this is a very old phone. If you show me an iPhone, I will be excited. Wow, you got me the top brand in the market. If you show me the latest model of a particular company which has been just been launched, I will be very excited. Okay, this is the latest one, let's try my hand onto it. So, education also plays a big role in actually showing what the behavior a particular person can have. Now, when we talk about psychological variables again, we are putting psychology into a particular subject. Yes, behavior is a psychological subject. When we talk about psychological variables, we have perception, learning, attitude and motivation. Perception, what do you perceive about a particular product? What do you know about it? Fine. You may be knowing about your own past experiences. You may be having some experiences of someone else's which you would like to share or you would like to empathize. Okay, it happened with them, it might happen to me too, fine. The attitude, oh, this is not a good product, let's have a better product with this one. This, I don't think this is a good product. Oh, this is a good product. So, this changes, this keeps on changes. Every time you buy a same product, your attitude is tend to change, or it is going to be improved, is going to be degraded, depending on the scenarios. We discussed it earlier also, fine. Then comes the motivation part. Now, the motivation part is again situational analysis, situational base, in which situation you are going to buy a particular product. Definitely it all comes down to the need and want of the consumer, whether he needs a particular product or not, whether he wants a particular product or not, and what is the intensity of the need and want of the particular product. That is the motivation factor. Now, if I am an educator, I need a particular book, but that book costs a lot of money. Definitely international sellers have a higher price and say, I currently have a very tight budget, can't buy a particular book or journal or whatever I am looking into. So, I will have to be motivated high enough to buy that thing. If I am okay, I am motivated not that much, but I am motivated a little bit. Okay, I need this book, but not now, I will buy it later. Change in behavior. I need it very much. I am into research work, I am doing the research on a particular thing. I need to buy this book. Is this book going to boost my research hugely? Then I'm motivated to a great extent, I will go and buy a particular thing, fine. Then come down to consumer characteristics. It's culture, social and personal. Culture, we are grown up in referring to the Indian society, we are being given a lot of inputs by our family, by our society, by our culture. We are being taught by history, a lot of examples are brought up to us about from history and from our culture and from the society, and that actually mold us as a person. Me as a person has got lots of thought here which do comprise a lot of inputs from culture, a lot of input from society and my own understanding also. This also governs my behavioral variables, fine. Now, talking about the market environment which are a kind of a external variable to the customer. Now, he is not into part. Now, we are not talking about demographics, we are not talking about his own behavioral variable. Now, we are talking about the market which is having various other out of control things. So, first is brand there. What is the brand there? What is the brand value there? What is the brand name there? What is the brand establishment there? What is how the particular brand is advertised? It is extensively advertised. It is only advertised in fewer platforms where the marketer knows that my customer will be coming and picking the product from here itself. What is the pricing strategy? It is aggressive or it is normal. Aggressive means you are putting a very competitive pricing and giving a lot of things, right? Then comes the word of mouth thing. Now, I remember there was a movie OMG. I could not remember more of the advertising done by the producers. I could only remember the trailer coming out, and there are so many other movies which had come out. The first lot of the people went to the cinemas, watched the movie, they came out and they were excited. That's a wonderful movie. Let's talk about this more. When they talk about more about the public in general, the public thought of, okay, as they are saying, they are giving us a positive feedback, let us go again and watch the movie. The second batch goes up and then they come up again with a good review. The word of mouth flows in. So what is the word of mouth of a particular product moving in the particular market? Then we talk about the service, peculiarly the after sales service. I bought a particular product, I find a certain problem with it. It could be a manufacturing fault, it could be a fault on my behalf, it could be a breakage. Fine. Let's say it's an electronic equipment, there is a short circuit in it, it could be a problem of my electrical circuits which are flowing, or it could be a problem with the chipset which is used in the particular system. Now, how would the after sales service team service me? Now, they are external to me, I am expecting them to provide me a cheaper or rather a free solution. Definitely, consumer always wishes to have a free solution, but if you are getting free solutions, then definitely there has to be a cost paid in some manner. Fine. So, this all are the factors which are actually governing the behavior of a particular consumer. Fine. Now comes the big question, what if the marketer knows in advance about all the behavior of the consumer? What if he is ready to serve a consumer? What if he is prepared with all the arsenals he has got just to put that particular product in your pocket or in your home? That's the point. Now, what is that arsenal? What he needs to know? He needs to know the place and the location exactly. Where would you like to buy a product? Offline or online? Online, which portal? Offline, which shop? Which area? Which location? I need to put my product there. I need to put my product available there. Right? Then also the type and quantity of purchase should also be monitored. Definitely Amazon and Flipkart and Tata Click and all these e-commerce sites, they have a wonderful algorithm with them. They can actually monitor how many times you visit a particular product and don't buy it. Fine, it happens. You put that particular product into cart and you don't buy it. It's there for months and months and months. Fine, you as a marketer will have to poke the consumer. Sir, the product is in your cart, it will be vanishing soon, it is low on a particular say logistics, or it is low on the warehouse, please buy it quickly or the price are going up. Fine, we keep on poking them. How are we able to poke them? Because we have generated the particular algorithm on online platform. What about the offline platform? Definitely you have a kirana store just corner of the road where you go often and you buy certain products. He knows what you buy. He knows what brand atta you buy, what brand maida you buy, what brand salt you buy, what brand water you drink. So, when he knows this thing, so definitely he can serve you better. He knows your quality, he knows your perception, he knows your kind of frequency how you buy. He knows when you come to his shop, the time. He knows he will put the particular product ready for you. He also knows the method of the purchase. I mean, offline and online both, you can actually identify the method of the purchase, how you are going to make the payment. It could be COD, it could be cash or say a credit, it could be say part payment in the form of EMI. Now, this all is actually governed by the behavior part. The marketer will have to understand that he is going to need the behavior of a consumer to sell the product. Now, consumer does not know how he is behaving, he is kind of a lame person. Although we term consumer as the god, but he is lame, he does not notice his own behavior. It is us marketer who need to understand the behavior, and we are the one who are selling the product. We need to sell the product, so we need to understand the customer's behavior. Fine. So, that is what we need to understand, and I guess we have discussed a lot of this and we will be discussing more in our forthcoming sessions. So, thank you for today's session. Thank you very much.